Wordplay is a key weapon in any politician's artillery, and Congress leader Pawan Khera is known to have a way with words. But there is little doubt that he crossed the line when he took a pot shot at the name of Prime Minister Modi's father. That kind of attack should not be made in civil society against anyone. But should he have been deplaned and put under arrest on the tarmac of an airport in retaliation? In the heat and dust of Indian politics, there is now an approach of taking no prisoners. And that is what we're seeing today. An excess of foul speech and an excess of police force. Here is what happened. Congress leader Pawan Khera made objectionable remarks against Prime Minister Modi at a press conference recently. Instead of saying Narendra Damodar Das Modi, Pawan Khera said Narendra Gautam Das Modi. He was taunting the PM and making a reference to his alleged proximity with industrialist Gautam Adani. Mr. Pawan Khera needlessly dragged the Prime Minister's father into political controversy, and even some leaders in the Congress admitted that he'd crossed the line. In fact, when the matter now has gone to court, Mr. Khera apologized unconditionally today. But while there is no justification for using such language, what happened at the tarmac in Delhi today is what some would argue overkill. Police officers from Assam arrested Pawan Khera as he was flying out from Delhi to Raipur for the Congress's plenary session. He was asked to deplane, was then detained on the tarmac. He was first kept at the police station at Terminal 1 of the airport and then officially arrested by the Assam police. Now, within hours, the Congress party moved the Supreme Court seeking protection. The Supreme Court has now sought a response from Assam and UP governments where cases are filed against Khera. The cases are complaining that sentiments have been hurt and there is a plot to foment violence and trouble attributed to Khera's poor choice of words. It also granted him, that's the court also granted him interim protection from arrest until the 28th of February. So hours after his dramatic tarmac arrest, Pawan Khera did walk out of the Dwarka courthouse in Delhi, and this is what he said.
बिना एफआईआर की कॉपी दिए, बिना मुझे कोई नोटिस दिए, हवाई जहाज से उतारकर इस तरह से गैरकानूनी रूप से मुझे गिरफ्तार किया गया असम पुलिस द्वारा। न्याय प्रणाली पर मुझे पूरा भरोसा और आस्था है, जिसकी वजह से आज मेरी स्वतंत्रता की रक्षा हुई है।
But the tit-for-tat has begun and now turned into a full-blown war. Take a look at some of the responses that have come today from both sides.
जिस प्रकार से कांग्रेस नेता पवन खेड़ा को जबरन उतारा गया, ये असम पुलिस की मोदी सरकार की सरेआम गुंडागर्दी का सबूत है। ये सरकार है या फिर हिटलर शाही की फैक्ट्री? और आज जिस प्रकार से एक किसी टेलीविजन पर दिए गए बयान को लेकर, वो भी जो गुजरात में दिया गया था, असम के आदिवासी क्षेत्र से एसपी, डीएसपी न जाने किस किस अधिकारी को भेजा गया और जैसे उग्रवादियों से पेश आते हैं, उससे भी बुरी तरह से कांग्रेस के नेताओं से पेश आए, ये दर्शाता है कि ये सरकार किस प्रकार से घबराई और डरी हुई है।
किसी भी व्यक्ति को यह गलतफहमी नहीं होनी चाहिए कि वो देश के कानून से ऊपर है। पहले आप अमर्यादित भाषा बोलेंगे, देश के यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री को गाली देंगे, उनके परिवार के सदस्यों के बारे में अपशब्द कहेंगे और उसके बाद विक्टिम कार्ड खेलेंगे। ये ओछी घटिया राजनीति केवल कांग्रेस पार्टी ही कर सकती है।
That was shocking and outrageous. Nothing that Pawan had said or done warranted deplaning, arrest, detention. Really shocking. I'm very glad that I believe the Supreme Court has given him bail immediately, which is the right thing to do. There is no reason to jail somebody for a joke. And even if it's a joke that you don't like, you know, we don't have a law here that you can't make jokes about the Prime Minister. It's a very, very strange and I must say outrageous decision by the Assam police to come and take somebody off a plane.
असल में क्या कि उनको कानून के दायरे में रहकर काम करना नहीं। जब आप देश के प्रधानमंत्री के पिताजी का आप अपनी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस, प्रेस वार्ता में उपहास उड़ाएंगे तो वो क्या ठीक है? क्या उनको लगता है कि वो एक हमारा जो समाज की हमारी जो संस्कृति है उसके अनुसार ठीक है? परंतु नहीं, उनको तो इस बात को मानना नहीं। और हाँ, देश के अंदर आम जन को उस सबसे बहुत पीड़ा हुई, उसके चलते लोगों ने अपनी अपनी यहाँ शिकायतें दर्ज करी और उसके चलते पुलिस ने एक्शन लिया, पुलिस ने कार्रवाई करी।
पवन खेरा जी को अरेस्ट करके वो भी आसाम की पुलिस आकर उनको अरेस्ट करे, लेकिन कानून में वैसा कोई प्राविधान नहीं है। इस देश में फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच को, आज़ादी को खत्म करने की कोशिश ये लोग कर रहे हैं और इनके हाथ में डेमोक्रेसी और संविधान सुरक्षित नहीं है।
लेकिन सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कतई ये नहीं कहा कि कानून को नहीं फेस करेगा, ये कहा कि तीनों केस एक जगह रखो। ठीक है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने भी माना कि जो किया इसने पाप किया है। क्यों किया भाई आपने ऐसे? आप देश के प्रधानमंत्री हैं, आप इस अहंकार में, इस आपकी जो गंदी राजनीति के चलते आप इस तरह के परिवार को बीच में लाके प्रधानमंत्री के इंस्टीट्यूशन को हेड कर रहे हैं और आप उनको इस तरह से उनके स्वर्गीय पिताजी को बीच में ला रहे हैं, तो बड़ी शर्म की बात है।
So, here are a few questions that arise out of this entire saga. Did Pawan Khera not cross limits of decency by taking a jibe at a political opponent's father? Yes, it is the Prime Minister's father, but should this be done against anyone? Has Indian political discourse clearly stooped to a new low? On the other hand, was the manner of deplaning and arrest of Khera not excessive? Should civil proceedings have been filed if sentiments were hurt instead of what we're seeing as criminal charges? To speak on some of these issues, I'm joined now by Aadil Boparai, spokesperson of the Congress, Tehseen Poonawalla Political Analyst, R.S. Pathania, BJP spokesperson with me on the show, and I'm also speaking with PKD Nambiar, Political Analyst. Welcome to all of you and thank you so much. Mr. Boparai, let me begin with your take since it's the Congress party front and center in today's story. Do you think Pawan Khera should have really not made the comments he made? It was a clear jibe and it was a low blow. It could have been avoided, wasn't it?
Well, Tamanna, the nub of the matter is this. Even if you take what Mr. Khera said on face value, let's take what he said on face value. The proposition which arises, and last I checked, this is a country governed by the rule of law. Does that constitute any offense under the Indian Penal Code? I think that is the moot point. Does that satisfy the ingredients for the offenses for which he's charged? That is the moot point. And the answer is a categorical no. Point number one. Point number two, the Supreme Court, way back in 2014, in Arnab Goswami's case, in Zubair's case, has categorically made it clear that no arrest should be made for offences which carry a sentence of less than 7 years unless there is compliance with Section 41A. And Section 41A is that you must give a notice to the accused persons. That has been brazenly violated. The actions of the Assam police smack of political vendetta. Now, coming to your larger question about the following discourse in this country, let me put a question to your viewers. Is it appropriate to call a former Congress president whose husband laid down his life for this country a Jersey cow? Is it appropriate to call the wife of a member of parliament belonging to the Congress party a 50 crore rupee girlfriend? Is it appropriate to call
does
a
that
former
justify,
president...
Aadil, does that justify what Mr. Pawan Khera said?
You know, first
does
we
that
have
justify
to
what Mr. Pawan Khera said?
First, we have to decide
no,
whether...
because I know the Congress hates this whataboutery, but that's exactly the playbook that you've got today.
Forget the whataboutery for a moment. Which offence is made out? Which offence is made out for the police to come from Guwahati to Delhi to arrest a person? You answer this, and please put this question. Forget whether it is appropriate or inappropriate. I may hear a lot of things which are inappropriate. That doesn't mean I can send the police to arrest somebody. The question is, does
so
it
the question is legal. Okay, R.S. Pathania, let me take that question to the BJP spokesperson. What he said was incorrect. It was in poor taste. Does he deserve to be deplaned, dragged off a plane, taken off the tarmac and arrested for this? Is bad manners or, poor speech a crime?
Tamanna, without being dragged and tangled into a vicious tug of war between the Congress and the opposition parties at so many occasions, what Congress leaders were termed, what opposition leaders were judged, are some very low and unsavory comments. But let us assume one thing very clearly, very forthright, that democracy cannot run unless we keep on demonizing each other. There should be a basic level of decency. Should we take the cue from the Honorable Supreme Court also? The CA has also said that we are giving you the bail, but this is not the level of the political, of the public discourse. So, once Mr. Pawan Khera has granted an unconditional apology, will the Congress say sorry for what Mr. Pawan Khera said in full daylight? No euphemism, no turnaround, no lead to. This is really blistering. This is outrageous. What they said about the Prime Minister.
Outrageous, Pathania ji. मेरा सवाल है, outrageous है, but is it criminal? Look at the charges. There's 120B, which deals with criminal conspiracy. 1 minute, sir. 153A, promoting enmity between different groups. 153B1, making imputations, assertions prejudicial to national integration. 500 deals with defamation. I think defamation seems like a valid one because this is literally defamation. Intentional insult with intent to provoke breach of peace. 504. Statements causing public mischief and enmity between classes. जुबान खराब थी, उसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है. क्या एक्शन ज्यादा हो गया?
Not at all. Tamanna, denigrating the elected Prime Minister of Bharat, who is the heartthrob of almost 140 crores of the people of India, does it not amount to creating a sort of unrest and uncertainty? Does it not amount to creating a sort of enmity between groups? Does it not amount to creating an uproar? There is a criminal case, no question of any civil liability or any civil fixture. There is a clear-cut criminal case. They need to fight it out. And the Honorable Supreme Court has also omitted from passing a value judgment comment as to the merits and the demerits of the criminal cases against.
Sir, that is a legal. Sir, Mr. Pathania, I'm sure you know that well. That is a legal process. Pehle din pe Supreme Court makes no value judgment. They have given him anticipatory bail. They will not make value judgment. They have issued notice. Quick response from Aadil, and then I move on to the other panelists. Yes, Aadil.
The problem today is that the BJP is intoxicated with arrogance. This is their arrogance. I just want to say one thing, and I'm going to leave it at that. The nature of politics is that nobody remains in power forever. You're in power today, you may not be in power tomorrow. We were in power yesterday, we're not in power today. So don't take the level of discourse and vendetta to a point of no return. What the gentleman from the BJP is saying, tomorrow if they are not in power and the ruling dispensation starts taking action against them, what would his reaction be? The point here is, can you arrest somebody? Can you lodge an FIR against somebody for an alleged statement of this nature? The answer is a categorical no. And then you breach Arnesh Kumar's guidelines. I think the gentleman doesn't know what Arnesh Kumar's judgment's directions are. You cannot make an arrest for an offense which carries a sentence of less than 7 years. And let me say this, we will exercise our legal remedies against the Assam police for breach of Arnesh Kumar's guidelines and directions. So that is the nub of the matter. We are not entering into a value discussion here. My friend may find something
but it is part of it. It is part of it. Because voters are seeing where political discourse has gone.
Right.
Yes, it will be fought in the courts. You are a lawyer. It will be fought in the courts. You're talking about arrogance. That statement did also reek of arrogance.
Tamanna, you are right. The discourse has indeed fallen since 2014. When you call late Shri Rajiv Gandhi's wife a Jersey cow, the discourse has indeed fallen. When you call Mr. Rahul Gandhi ji is a hybrid calf, the discourse has indeed fallen. When you call Shashi Tharoorji's late wife a 50 crore rupee
We're back to the whataboutery. Aren't you better than this then? Isn't the claim that you're better than this? Tehseen Poonawalla, I want to bring in Tehseen Poonawalla. You know, out of all of this, what is the message that has gone through? What is the message that has gone through? And what do you make of the fact also that in court, it was made very clear that an unconditional apology was issued for those statements?
Tamanna, good evening. Thank you so much for having me on the show. One is a legal battle. One is what is correct or not correct in our political discourse. So to that extent, I agree with you and with the Congress spokesperson that the political discourse has completely fallen down. I don't even want to go into the past or whataboutery. Just a few days ago, I was on your channel and the most honorable Prime Minister spoke about Rahul Gandhi. Why is his surname Gandhi, not Nehru? Now, that's a former Prime Minister. His father and his grandmother were also the heartbeats of the country at that time. So this has fallen down drastically. That's point number one. Point number two, the question out here, the only question that remains is if anyone was offended, and I think Pawan did cross a line, tongue in cheek, but he crossed a line. If anyone was offended, it should have been the most honorable Prime Minister. And the recourse to the most honorable Prime Minister or his immediate family was to file a defamation case against Pawan. And they should have filed a defamation case if they were offended. How is somebody whipping up 153A and 120B in some rural area of Assam for what Pawan Khera said in Gujarat or in Mumbai? I mean, that doesn't make sense. And then you have an entire army of police barging into an airlines and dragging the man out. How is this justified in a democracy? So to that extent, I think we are living in extremely scary times. Night after night, I'm on your show. I'm very critical of the BJP. Tomorrow, I'll be dragged out from somewhere else because somebody somewhere is offended of some statement I've made on your show, which is about the most honorable Prime Minister. This is not how a democracy should function. That public discourse has fallen, yes. That it needs to go up, yes. But that's on both sides. That does not mean
being foul-mouthed is not a crime, is what the Congress is saying. Being foul-mouthed is not a crime. Saying something unsavory about anyone, even the Prime Minister, may be in very poor taste, but it's not a crime. Or at least one that attracts this kind of action. What would you say to that?
It's very unfortunate that today the people like Aadil and Tehseen, they are my friends, but they are trying to defend something which is not defendable. And I am of the opinion what Pawan did, it was not a slip of tongue. It was a conscious effort. Anybody whomsoever has watched that interview or at least twice or thrice will be very, very clear. He was not only just said that even if it is a slip of tongue, he made further more of like insulting along with his colleagues, whomsoever was sitting with him in the dais. Even in the crowd, there was a laughter. So I think it was an intentional trying to make a headline. That was an effort he made. And as far as that is concerned, this kind of political jibes is not what we expect in this 2023. This is not the political kind of commentary we expect from the responsible people, irrespective of political
Mr.
party.
Nambiar, my question is about the action. The action.
Correct. I'm coming to that. I'm coming to the second part of it. I believe that there was an adventurism or which was a very poor strategy to a leader of Pawan Khera. I mean, making him from a villain till 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Suddenly, you have made a hero of him. We are all talking about Pawan Khera as a hero today, but whereas he was just a villain till 1 o'clock to many people because the way he has addressed the father of the Prime Minister. But I think it was a poor strategy from the people. I'm sure that this was not known to the senior leadership of the BJP. This may have been a little
say it clearly. Say it clearly. Adventurism. PKD Nambiar says it's adventurism. Mr. Pathania, thoda zyada ho gaya. Thoda zyada ho gaya.
I am saying I'm a strong supporter of BJP.
The basic issue is that...
As someone who is a self-proclaimed staunch supporter of the BJP is saying that you turned Mr. Pawan Khera into a hero by targeting him like that. Yes, unhone makhol udaya. Yes, it was in poor taste. But, you know, You are the most powerful party today in this country. Is it such a thin
Tamanna,
skin?
He should not have been given such kind of... See, Pawan Khera is not such a big person to be given such kind of an importance to pick him up from the airport, not only from the airport, but from the aircraft. It was definitely a poor strategy. And I'm sure that the senior BJP leadership, at least at the top level, is not aware about it. This may have been done by somebody who feel that, like Pawan Khera made to do this to appease the Gandhi family. Somebody thought that, yeah, okay, this will may give some better impression about us. Maybe to the
Some are
Assam police
being
or
more
some
loyal than
leader.
the king.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And
That's an interesting take. Pathania ji, आपका quick response आपका कुछ ज़्यादा हो गया
Very sweet and very simple. But I was expecting that Congress will start the debate with an unconditional apology to what its national spokesperson said most brazenly, most in a shameless way, the way a constitutional authority. Let us forget for one time that he is a Bharatiya Janata Party Karyakarta. He belongs to Bharatiya. He is a high-ranking constitutional authority representing the heartthrobs of 140 crores of the people of India. But the Congress seems to be obsessed. The Pradhan Mantri himself had red flagged the issue. They have called him Gandhi Nali ka Kida. They have used his mother also. And once again, they seek solace and pleasure. While Mr. Pawan Khera, I again use the word most shamelessly, tears apart all the leaves of decency. And Congress is still adamant.
नहीं तो what about all the comments that Aadil has talked about? 3 बार उन्होंने बोला है. What about those comments? Those were not decent either.
Very, very simple. First of all, arresting him, deboarding him, it might have been a decision taken by the investigating officer and by the local police also. Not to raise a total political slugfest over it. That's it. It's not that Pradhan Mantri Modi ji signed his warrant. Our Bharatiya Janata Party debated it in some national executive, and it was a Bharatiya Janata Party case, and
Okay.
Congress will go.
Are you distancing from the actions of the Assam police? Are you distancing from the actions of the Assam police?
Yes.
You're distancing.
Not at all distancing. My point is, it is not at all an occasion or a point to raise an all-out war, to go hammer and tongs against the Bharatiya Janata Party and raise a political slugfest.
नहीं आपने उनके लीडर को प्लेन से उठा के जेल में डाल दिया. So वो तो धरना करेंगे टारमैक पे. आपने उनको ऑप्शन दे दिया. Look at those visuals. They've been putting out videos from there. Okay, quick response. Tehseen and then Aadil. Yes, Tehseen.
I just want to, on a lighter note, and I hope I'm not pulled out of any plane or hospital. 140 crore Indians' heartbeat. The most honorable Prime Minister, I respect him, but he's not my heartbeat. I just want to put it out there. But a more pertinent point that I want to make. Perhaps this may be somebody being more loyal than the king, and I give that to PKD Nambiar. But I said this on your show 3 days earlier, Tamanna, and I'm repeating it. The most honorable Prime Minister is severely being misled. He seems to be losing the way. Whether it is a documentary which he went after the heavy hammer, whether it is on this particular issue, he's completely being misled. And if the BJP spokesperson is confirming what he's saying, that the Prime Minister was not aware of it, or the highest echelons of the BJP was not aware of it, that just proves that the iron grip of the Prime Minister and the Home Minister on this country is completely slipping. And I think that's what I've been saying, that the Prime Minister is losing his Midas touch. Please don't pull me out of anything. He's not my heartbeat.
No, you know what?
You're
saying it in a lighter vein, but I have to say there are limits of public discourse, and when it comes to your family, your parents, no one wants to tolerate that. No one wants to tolerate that. That gets personal. That gets ugly.
I agree.
Very quickly, Aadil, very quickly.
Tamanna, I am very outraged by the comments against Mrs. Sonia Gandhi. I am very outraged that BJP leaders made very nasty comments, chauvinistic comments
File a case,
against Mrs.
file
Gandhi.
an FIR.
Will the Delhi police go and arrest those leaders?
No, but see, this is where it will become tit for tat. You will file your leaders will file an FIR in Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh. Then Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh police will be going around hunting for whichever plane they're in.
The problem today is that the BJP is exhibiting fascist tendencies. Of course, there's one school of thought that perhaps a leader wants to be more loyal than the king, but keep that aside. The BJP is exhibiting high-handed tendencies. They believe that any person who speaks against them, criticizes their policies, seeks accountability, is either an anti-national or we will throw him into jail. This is the kind of playbook which Hitler and Joseph Goebbels used to adopt. One doesn't expect 21st century India to resort to such high-handed techniques. Me and Mr. Pathania may disagree with each other. We and Mr. Pathania may say unsavory things to each other, but that doesn't mean you start invoking penal provisions and sending police as your private militia. The police is not the BJP's private militia, Pathania Sahab. It is not the BJP's private militia. We are governed by the rule of
I'm
law.
sorry to say there are too many examples of state police in various states under various governments being used to target political opponents. We've seen it in West Bengal. We've seen it in multiple cases over the years. And it's wrong. Nothing makes it right. Okay, Mr. Nambiar has been waiting. Just quick response from Mr. Nambiar. Yes.
I'll just tell you one thing. I'm very, very disappointed. The reason is that one statement from both, Aadil, I expect that whatever Pawan said was really not acceptable in our public discourse.
They've said it in court. They've apologized and they've had to go to court and apologize.
Tamanna, why
don't the Congress say, madam? Why don't the Congress say it officially?
Number two, one is absolutely, this is something which we expect the minimum. Now this comparison, हमने बताया था, उन्होंने भी बता दिया, तो क्या होगा, कैसे होगा? What are we talking about? How do we talk about that? We are talking about Assam police coming here. I am of the opinion Pawan Khera should have been arrested. But the way it has been done, arrested from the tarmac is not acceptable. That is only what I said. Second part of it is that when Chhattisgarh police has knocked the door of a journalist in Noida, what were we talking about? Where was the freedom of expression? That journalist did not have any freedom of expression. When the Rajasthan police was trying to get hold of your own leaders of Sachin Pilot and the team of the MLAs in Haryana, where were you? I mean, talking all in an air and without even making the real point that Pawan Khera made a biggest mistake of his lifetime. It is stored forever in the minds of the people. I think that should be the topic. I think today Aadil and Tehseen, and I know that Tehseen always stand up and
Mr. Nambiar, that would have been the topic if not for the tarmac drama. That would have been the topic if not for the tarmac drama. Okay, I want to go to Aadil. I want to go to Aadil because there have been two questions on this panel that why aren't you starting or why aren't you prefacing all of your points about police excess, etc., with an admittance that that was a wrong statement. There should be an apology for that statement.
First, let the BJP undertake this admittance and repent that the statements made against Mrs. Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, are wrong. Let the BJP admit.
So you're justifying them?
Number one. Number two.
Are you justifying the statement?
Charity begins at home.
Are you justifying the statement?
Charity begins at home. They shouldn't sermonize us and give us platitudes and homilies when
so
they can't look within.
पहले आप sorry बोलेंगे, फिर हम sorry बोलेंगे.
I am answering your second
pull out those videos.
Are we going to be
governed? 1 minute. Mr. Nambiar, on this show, we speak one by one. Please, 1 minute. Yes, Aadil, please complete.
Tamanna, are we going to be governed by the Indian Penal Code, or are we going to be governed by what Pathania Sahab thinks is appropriate or inappropriate? First, let's get this clear.
No.
Pathania Sahab cannot decide that. This is a country governed by the rule of law. No,
it is, Aadil, but you know, it is, which is why, and no, you're the lawyer, but I want to, it has happened as per the IPC. The practice has been followed, and FIR was launched, and FIR was lodged in half long, and then the police have taken action. It was found excessive. You've gone to the courts. You've gone to the courts for reprieve, and that reprieve has been given. Now you know that the system is working because the courts have given reprieve. They've heard this case in a matter of hours.
The system will work when we will file a contempt against the Assam officers, and they will be convicted for contempt.
You should. Because go by the law.
We will. Because the Arnesh Kumar guidelines have been brazenly violated.
Okay.
No notice of arrest was sent. No notice to join investigation was sent. In a short span of 24 hours, an arrest was sought to be made without a warrant. And most foremost in this case, The allegations do not constitute the ingredients of these sections. This is the nub of the matter. Pathania Sahab tomorrow says something to me. Can I go and get an FIR registered against him and have him arrested? No.
Well, I hope not. I hope all parties that win elections to run governments in states do not think that means that the police of that state becomes their arm. Their arm to do whatever they want. Mr. Pathania, quick response to this. Quick response to this, Mr. Pathania. Do you think that the excess action has skewed the entire debate? You're saying he said something wrong. A defamation case file hona chahiye tha.
Not at all. My point is that the issue which is on the carpet. I started without, I used the word without being entangled into a war of words or a tug of war with the other political parties over what said, in what set of occasion and what point of time. I said we should at least evolve a minimum decency and minimum deterrent in public discourse.
पहले भाजपा को तो इवॉल्व करवा लीजिए पहले भाजपा को तो इवॉल्व करवा लीजिए हमें तो बाद में इवॉल्व करवाना पहले भाजपा को तो इवॉल्व करवा लीजिए
You are not even to say sorry.
Sorry? Are you going to say sorry for the comments against Mrs. Gandhi? First say sorry for the comments against Mrs. Gandhi. First say sorry for the comments against Mrs. Gandhi.
This means Congress...
To stand by the comments against Mrs. Gandhi.
That Congress
so you are standing by the comments against Mrs. Gandhi.
Could we assume
it? To say you are standing by the comments
I'm going to intervene here. I'm going to intervene here. I'm going to intervene here.
Congress stands by it. This is unfortunate, sir. This is really unsavory.
The people of this country deserve a better level of political discourse. They also deserve a better use of the police forces in every state of this country. Let's move on to using these forces and these powers to serve the people. That's really the key question here. I will wrap it here. I want to thank all of our panelists for joining us in the debate. I'm taking a very short break. On the other side, author and economist Swaminathan Iyer joins me for a chat on a very interesting article he has written where he makes the argument that the Hindenburg report is actually a blessing in disguise for Gautam Adani. I'm going to come back and ask him why he thinks so. Stay tuned.